Good evening, welcome to the Dugout. It's the eve of two very important games, not one, two. Well, that reminds me, why is it that both times the men's and the women's game has coincided? Like, could they not have found any other days of the week?
No, this is just the tip of the iceberg. Because if India qualify, the women's team qualify for the semi-final, there is an overlap. Final also there is an overlap, India, Australia.
No, I don't want to get that far ahead with the team that
I don't know.
I don't know that they make the final. But having said that, these were league games, na? So they coordinated that let's keep the Indian fan busy. In fact, I was thinking to myself, this, last 2-3 days have been holiday.
Yeah.
We could have seen some cricket in peace.
Then it wouldn't have been a holiday.
No, okay, for a cricket fan. I was talking to a lot of my friends, family, who cricket fans. They wanted to see some cricket. So, Sunday, men's game, women's game. Then Thursday, which means Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, any day you got have nothing.
Nothing.
Again, Thursday also same day only.
Same. 25th is the only
The
day.
result is also coordinated. I hope it doesn't happen on Thursday as well. Or maybe it is coordinated in a better result and it's coordinated.
Indeed.
But everything they are coordinating. Just because the fee and all has been, made the same.
Equal match fees doesn't make for equal coverage time also. I'm sorry. I mean, that shows.
That whole thing has kicked up a huge debate on social media.
Yeah.
People have been very angry with the women's team. Now they're getting equal pay. Why aren't they replicating the results? But that's very naive.
It's a misnomer. You don't get equal pay. It's equal match fees. That's the difference.
Yeah.
No, but my point is, how is it that each equal match fee
Will also
entail? How does that relate? And by the way, I agree that women in that sense have been lucky that women's cricket has come at a time where men's game is already established. So obviously the financial ecosystem has been created by the men's game, absolutely no doubt. And they now are lucky in the sense by the time women's cricket has really come up, BCCI has that kind of money to spread the, game around and to pay that much. That's fine. So in that sense, they are fortunate, the women's team. Though women's cricket has been there for very long and they were also, times that they were not paid that much. It's been there for Diana Dilji, all of those.
Shantaranga Swami.
Correct.
Was played before the men's
But
World
I'm
Cup.
saying they are lucky in that sense that the financial might of BCCI came courtesy the men's game. Agreed. And they are. But then I would also extend that. That is why today's young cricketers are also, their match fee is very high. They get to travel in flights, under 19s, under 15s. They stay in good hotels, all of that. That's all happened because the game has gone somewhere and the main national team has done something. So it's percolating down. And by that extension, the women players are also getting. Why are we grudging them the money or the facilities they're getting? That's not the problem. Yes, performance. For the longest time, you've been backing them, and if they're not delivering the performance, that I think is a valid question to ask. We can point fingers that, okay, we need to change this. The batters have to be answerable, bowlers have to be answerable, captain has to be answerable. All that is fine. If you don't perform, heads will roll. All of that is fine. But to grudge them the money, that, now they're getting money, and that I think is
it's a very myopic way. Those people who are commenting on it, they don't know their women's cricket in India. It's a convenient thing because, see, you've had a central contract in the women's team only for the last 9 years. Until then, you didn't have a central contract for the women's
then
team.
their point is that, okay, 9 years now you've had central contract, so much money, why is it not resulting?
But if you have to look at it, see, you've not won an ICC event, that is true. But you won bilateral series, except against Australia.
Also then
you won against every other nation.
Just extending the same logic, then if the comparison is being made, look at how long it's taken for Indian cricket to also reach where it has. Looking at, if you're comparing penny by penny, then the Indian men's team has also, by the way, by the same logic, underperformed. Do we have the same laurels to show for given the pay and everything? No, it's not always coincided. It's not always been proportionate. And these things are not correlated. Pay cannot be correlated to where women's cricket is at the moment. Just very unfair. Yeah. Yes, you can criticize, you can ask questions, and I think every team representing India, every team in public view is up for such scrutiny, and that's part of the sport. But nothing beyond that per se. Can't be equating the two teams' basis pay.
Yeah, I completely agree with that. But again, as I said, that does not stop us or any one of you to point fingers at the women's team and question their performance. I think, they've also been, given
Sloppy.
a longer rope in that sense, that you're expecting good performance. Okay, maybe facilities weren't that much, but now all that has been given. So now you can question the performance. I have no issues with the women team getting paid, even if they don't win a World Cup. That's fine. It continues. Pay cannot be equated to how many titles. But also, if you have in the future questions, and we also raise questions here, you also have questions, and you have doubts, and you want to be critical of a player because he's not performing, you have full right to do that. Every one of us have the right.
Yeah, 2 decades back, were we being as critical of our badminton contingent as we were this time around for the Paris Olympics? No, we were very critical of the badminton contingent this time around because facilities aren't really an issue anymore. Now you've come off age in a way. 2 decades have gone by, and now you felt that you had given your players and the contingent entire exposure, the requisite exposure to be world beaters. And of course, if you're floundering just at those critical moments, if you're just not able to hold on to your nerve, then these things will call for scrutiny. You cannot escape that scrutiny. Now that excuse of not having infrastructure, facilities, money, those things weren't applicable to badminton of all sports.
Yeah.
Infrastructure, money can't buy you skills. Skills has to be honed and developed on its own. And see, there is a reason why only 3 nations have won the Women's World Cup. Australia lead the pack with 7. England have the other team who won 4. New Zealand are the only team who won only 1. And that was 25 years ago. So, will you say then, even New Zealand, the likes of New Zealand, South Africa, Sri Lanka, West Indies, Pakistan, they all should get the same amount of scrutiny? No. That's the thing.
And if you look at, I'm just comparing like women's sports as well. I think it'll take time. Let's say hockey, for example. The Indian men's team is performing at a different level. The women players are also getting the same kind of facilities, but they're not at the same level. They couldn't even qualify for the Olympics. So I mean, there are issues there, and
this time relegated from the Pro League also.
Yeah, so it'll take time, but I'm one for giving both teams same amount of facilities, same amount of everything, but also demanding performances. Anyway, we are here to talk about the series that is happening down under.
Yes.
India, Australia. Perth is behind us. Feels like a long time, and these big gaps.
Long gap.
You don't get between.
I mean, is the journey from Perth to Adelaide longer than Adelaide to Sydney?
Of course, Adelaide to Sydney are very close by. It'll be like 2.5, 3 hours. All those, they are very close, all of them. Only Perth is one corner.
Eastern Coast.
Yeah.
Western Coast.
And then the rest are all.
And rest are all on the east.
That's why there's only a 1-day gap from the second to the third ODI. That's the
less travel.
No, Saturday,
Saturday, 25. Yeah. That's the only day when our women's team also doesn't overlap. Thankfully.
Okay, so what's the latest from Adelaide?
So today we had the optional practice session today. Virat sat out. He had practiced the day before. It was a truncated one, but Sitanshu Kotak, the batting coach, had said that we were lucky to get 2.5 hours because of the weather that was there. 2 days prior to the practice session, there was rain in Adelaide. But today it was dry, and I'm happy to report that for the match, clear skies. Not that much chances of rain.
It's going to be cool tomorrow.
Cool. 18 and 8.
No rain.
No rain.
Because rain was the number one reason we lost in Perth. Yes. I'm not saying that.
That is Sitanshu Kotak's comment. That was rain that led us to the loss in Perth.
That I think I don't agree with.
It was
while I agree that rain was one of the factors, contributing factors. India got the wrong end of the stick. I completely agree. Unlucky in that sense that you had to bat in a more confused environment compared to Australia. They knew what was the target, how to approach it. But I think there were various other factors.
It was lack of adjustment. They couldn't adjust to the
25 odd for 3. The whole top order was blown away. And yes, the rain was an impediment to your progress. But there was only very little progress that happened ultimately.
Yeah. So, Prasidh and Kuldeep had a session. They bowled. Although I think their chances of playing are pretty less. But the one everyone was focused upon was Rohit Sharma. He came 45 minutes earlier to the optional practice, battered. In fact, at one point, he had to change the strip because give the others the chance as well. So that is how he came. But then there was a discussion. JAISWAL, Gambhir were both spotted very closely having a discussion. And if you have to equate 2 plus 2 equals 4 with Rohit having such a long and lengthy session today, There are reports doing the rounds that if Rohit doesn't do well in Adelaide, perhaps JAISWAL will get a chance in Sydney. That is the fine line with which Rohit is operating. That's why he practiced like he was possessed today.
So there's going to be no news of what we heard the last time India were headed to Sydney, that Rohit had consciously decided to step back. It's not going to be that.
Sydney, Rohit stepping back.
That's what we were told.
No. That is true. I can confirm that was the case. That if, I repeat, if Rohit wanted to play Sydney, he would have played Sydney.
That's what I'm saying. So given what Siddharth's saying, so this time around there's going to be nothing like that, right?
I hope so. But then Rohit stepping back from Sydney 1 year later, again. Rohit stepping back Sydney part 2.
No, this time I'm sure he wouldn't want to step back. That's exactly the point.
But I think he would be pushed back.
In Sydney, what happened for that test match, he himself said that, listen, this is a crucial test. I know this and I can 100% vouch for it. That, and I'm not in form. I think a better chance would be to have someone who's scoring runs. And at the moment, if you have to drop someone because of lack of form, it has to be me. So I'll step. He was told by the rest of the think tank that no, it's the last test, play it, give it a shot. I mean, your form's not great, but it can only be an upward swing from here. At worst case scenario, that poor form may continue, but there's no guarantee somebody else who comes in your place also scores. And give this a shot. You don't know what the future holds. So in the middle of the tour, don't think about it. Play.
Yeah.
Look for it, and if it doesn't work out, then that conversation can be had after it. But don't take a hasty call now. But he was adamant, saying that no, I think for the sake of the series, it's better that somebody else plays. See, it didn't work out in his favor. Eventually, he now stands retired from that form. Maybe if he had paid heed to the advice of the rest of the think tank that included your chairman of selector and Gautam Gambhir, who knows? Maybe a good knock there. Things could have looked very differently. You would have viewed him very differently for England. But once he decided not to play that, India lost the series, you were going to look for a change. It had to happen. And I think that was the end of it. Here, he's made it very clear. And see, again, he retired also on his own. But of course, conversations were had with him, what they're thinking about the future. He would have gone to England also. Had he not retired, he would have. But it would have been not up to him. In Sydney, he decided that I'll step down. Then it would have been up to the team management which game he plays. Maybe he starts, doesn't get runs in a test match or two, then he's dropped. I think overall Rohit didn't want to go through that at this stage of his career, where he will be, any moment droppable, any moment brought in. So I think he saw the writing on the wall and then decided, nobody pushed him. That also I can go. He decided, no, I don't want to be in a scenario like that. So he retired. In this case, he's made it very clear that he is focused on playing the 2027 World Cup. He's made it very clear. If you have that in mind, then you have to, I've often said, you have to develop a bit of a thick skin. Let's just take this for example. I don't know whether it's going to happen or not, as Siddharth is pointing out, that maybe there are signs that if he doesn't get runs in the second ODI, they may give it to Yashasvi Jaiswal. I would find it very surprising if that happens. I think he will get all 3 ODI, at least I feel. And even there, I don't think they're going to be judging him. And even if you judge anybody for 3 ODIs, it's not fair, right? Before that, he had been getting runs. What's the point of judging him in 3 ODIs? Having said that, I also see a point that, okay, I can even look at it this way. Like supposing I'm the selector or the coach or whatever. Fine, you're playing 2 test matches. One, Harshit is playing. I've already decided, irrespective of your form. I'm not judging you. I'm not dropping you from the team. But listen, when I go to the World Cup, I need backup options as well. I need a Yashasvi also. I need to keep seeing him as well. So you also play. You're playing 2. He'll play 1. Maybe in the future you have 6 here where you get to play 2. Another series, I'll get Yashasvi 1. And we'll interchange with a lot of other players who are available. And through the season, of course, you've got to play domestic also. I'll keep seeing. So there's no hard and fast rule that you'll have a fixed team. And dropping you, if you had this conversation, the dropping you doesn't mean we're done with you. Dropping you is only meaning that we have to keep all our options open. See, even for Gill, the selectors said that it's not that Gill has become captain, so it's smooth sailing for him. He's also going to be viewed every game. And the reason they made him captain 2 years in advance is because they also want to see whether he's capable of being the captain at the World Cup. Because in let's say after 12 ODIs or 15 ODIs you're sitting and you have doubts. Yeah. you may want to go somewhere else with the captaincy. So I think what they are trying to do is that limited ODIs, see all options available with us, so that when we go to the World Cup, where Rohit will be also part of it, Virat also, I know which is my best 11 to start with, I know who's my best captain, and there are no ifs and buts.
The only thing with this report and the hypothesis that you just said, I think it just goes against what I've seen in Indian cricket over the last few years. When is it that we've seen that, okay, in a 3-match series, there's one player, that too one of the more experienced players between the two, in this case we're talking about Rohit Sharma, Yashasvi Jaiswal, that an experienced player plays 2 matches and the third is reserved, or in a way you're keeping the door open to try out another player who fits into the spot. For far too long, we've been used to, or what we've seen over the last half a decade, is that those who are in the wings are in the wings. Once there's an opening, then only that does a player get catapulted into the 11.
Is that true for bilaterals as well, where you can, I mean, again, at the end of the day, bilateral and the result and overall...
Because what we've seen is, what have we seen? We've seen with bilaterals over the last few years, because, you know, players have been, there's been a mixed approach of sorts, that okay, marquee series, veterans are playing, then after that, if it's an ODI World Cup, there's a bilateral T20 series, the veterans don't play, then again what do you see, a bilateral ODI series come up, the veterans play that. So it's been up and down that way. In many ways, the roles and who plays which series,
So
all of that is almost sort of decided.
So you're saying, if it does happen, again, these are unsubstantiated claims, but if that is to happen, let's say, like how I look at it, and that's the reason, how I look at it is that even in case Rohit was not to play that final ODI, let's assume that this does happen and that Yashasvi is given a chance, irrespective of the fact that Rohit gets runs here or not, just because you want to see all available options, that to me doesn't signal that would be the end of Rohit. But to you, because you're making a point that, see, Indian cricket by and large, even in bilateral, has made it very clear that whoever is in whatever spot keeps playing, he only goes out when you think, okay, I need him, he's got a long rope enough, and that's why I'm replacing.
Let me bring back the example of the Afghanistan bilateral series you had before the IPL. That's the only time that you saw in the build-up to the T20 World Cup that the two veterans played up top. Otherwise, you weren't really seeing. So when you wanted to do exactly what you did in the World Cup, that's when you saw them play. Otherwise, they weren't playing at all. So I think you have
So that's the point, because you're far away from the World Cup, try everything now. So that when you start that 12-month or 6-month period before the World Cup, by which time you're 100% sure what your 11 is,
because
and they continue.
If that is
right now is the time to experiment.
If that is the thing, I would then want to see if they're really looking at grooming Yashasvi Jaiswal, if they want to keep a backup.
Not grooming, but knowing your option.
Giving him a chance.
Because see, he's not playing.
Then I'd like, perhaps, I don't know how is it that the calendar then works out for Indian cricket, and how busy is Yashasvi going to be then. But if possible, then would you be throwing him into the deep and asking him to play Vijay Hazare as well, provided he's not playing Test cricket at that time? Because you want to be seeing him and you want to keep him as a backup.
Because amongst the lot, Yashasvi has played domestic.
That's what I'm saying. Now though, if you're planning, see, you only saw the Indian regulars play one round of Ranji Trophy last year.
Yes.
It was just one round. It was one round. But because the calendar also just allowed scope for that. I think calendar allowed for 2. Most players played 1. This time though, now if you're looking at 27, I'd be interested to see how is it that you then going to be having him in the Indian fold and not, have, because what this will do is, then if the Indian team is travelling, then he is bound to be with the Indian team in most formats, he's there. But if you then send him to Vijay Hazare, would you then not be worried, okay, what is the message that gets sent across to him then?
No, I think...
Will you be worried on that front?
I think that is immaterial. See, you have to first make up your mind whether you want to see... See, he is also untested in ODI cricket, right? He's played T20 cricket for India, and he was very unfortunate to be left out, Yashasvi Jaiswal, from there. And then he is, of course, your number one opener in Test match cricket. He is definitely there. But now in ODI, my point is, because there is this... murmur around that third ODI, you might see Yashasvi play instead of Rohit. My point is whether that is because they're experimenting and they want to see enough of Yashasvi, or is it really going to be do or die for Rohit Sharma in this second ODI, And provided he doesn't, he gets dropped for third ODI, doesn't get a chance after that.
I mean,
because I was reading.
It's a strange conundrum. On current situation, it's the battle of two one-format guys. Rohit is playing only one format. Yashasvi is playing only one format. Currently, technically at this point in time. Who is going to go out for whom, we don't know. But I would tend to agree that now is the time to look at your options. Try them. If you want to experiment, see, the T20 World Cup, you got the two veterans in and there were only 4 months left to go. We all thought it was foolhardiness. No one experiments this close to the T20 World Cup. But they came, they won you the tournament. So that was hailed as a success. Can you do that in the ODI format? Again, the gaps, which is what even Sunil Gavaskar pointed out on Sports Today as well. The ODI gaps, and for them to be in form, they have to play top level cricket consistently. Which, if you're a one format guy, doesn't allow you that liberty anymore. After this, you're playing 3 ODIs, then you've got a 1.5 month break until January. After that, you've got a 5-month break until July. So, how are you going to come back into form, even if you pick and choose certain matches? If Yashasvi gets a chance, but then it's a detrimental thing for Rohit and Virat also. How do I come back into form? It's a road of eggshells. That
what this does is, if you go ahead and try out Yashasvi, the only thing with the timing and the present narrative around the two veterans, I think you also need to understand what kind of an impact and message does that send across to the two veterans. And I think I'm worried on that front as well. Because if you're doing this, if you're willing to do this just 4 months, 5 months on from having won the Champions Trophy, where you had an impeccable run, Rohit Sharma was the winning captain, you're finding reasons then to, try out something or move in a direction where you're not necessarily by results forced into move into that direction. Rohit Sharma, again, we've said that, we've pointed out the numbers as well. His numbers are very good when it comes to ODI cricket. Now, when you do these things, of course, he's privy to the noise as well. And then you try with a view on 2027, try and introduce a Yashasvi into the fold as well. I doubt if... See, he's lost weight. His numbers are good.
You know the problem, what has happened?
Because a couple of matches here and there, Siddharth, again, you're looking at 24 matches as we counted the other day. 24 matches, and you're telling me after 2 matches, you're willing to move into a new direction, you're willing to weigh your options, because that way is then that... If a regular, if a starter, natural starter of this ODI team is given just 2 matches and 2 bad results, and then you're saying, okay, we're going to be looking at alternatives, then that can be applicable to others as well.
No, I agree, but I don't. See, again, it's the way you look at it. I completely agree that as soon as you do it, even though your intentions may be great, you are making Rohit Sharma face scrutiny, and you're putting him in an uncomfortable position. If I'm Rohit Sharma, I'm also not going to be liking this if that is to happen, and especially with the kind of noise that is being made and the chatter that will come out, even though your intention may not be to push him out, even though your intention may be the best, as I said, your intention may just be
the messaging will be.
Yeah, your intention may just be to listen, I have only limited ODIs, I want to see everyone, and let's say if I have a conversation with Rohit and say that I have 9, 12, whatever ODIs, in those 12 I'll split, I'll have out of those 11, maybe you play 7 and I'll get him to play 4 or whatever. This could be a conversation that, we are talking about them having a very long conversation. This could be a conversation where this understanding is already been made to put Rohit at ease so that he doesn't feel. It is possibility,
it is
right?
possible, yeah.
But I'm saying, I agree that even though you have this conversation and try to put him at ease, he also knows the messaging that will go out. He can't come and explain himself. Even if he says that, or even if a coach or a selector says that, we're going to be taking it with a pinch of salt, and we say, this is a very normal thing to say. No, we are giving you all. But we'll start, those conspiracy theories will start. They're trying to push him out.
Both the versions being talked about equally. One, what Rohit came and told the broadcaster. The other was obviously saying, that theory coming in, that all of this is just a smokescreen, because who uses the word dropped? Who drops a captain in an ongoing series? That theory was also being debated heavily.
See, so again, as I said, the truth could be anything. But I'm looking at it this way. 2 things. Even if, let's say, hypothetically, if Rohit is not to play the last ODI, I don't know whether that will signal an end of his ODI career. And if I'm Rohit, I will also have to develop a bit of a thick skin, because the circumstances aren't great. I'm fighting against age. I'm fighting against this perception battle. I'm fighting against with all the noise. So I will have to develop a bit of a thick skin that, listen, I know that if I score runs, I'll play. If I don't, I won't. And I think he would have been told that not just 3 ODIs. We're looking at you for 1 season. So I tell myself, okay, how many ever ODIs I get in this season, and I think there'll be some sort of a decision made only after the Vijay Hazare finishes. That will allow me 10, 12, whatever games. I look at this. If I score runs, noise will die down on its own. If I don't, then such is the nature of the
beast.
funny.
The things have changed totally. You see Champions Trophy. But until that time, Rohit and Virat were 2 format players. They hadn't announced their test retirement until that point in time. May was the period when everything changed for them. They both announced their test retirements in that particular month. Now we've seen even stalwarts who played 1 format, how they have been slowly but surely nudged out. You see, it happened with UV. It happened with MS.
Sir, UV, the returns were up and down.
Sure, but you saw it Shikhar Dhawan.
Barring that 100 that he scored, I think, against England.
Yeah, it was very low.
Exactly.
Very average,
What UV's numbers were just not in place.
Shikhar,
I agree.
Shikhar was your captain for one particular series.
Yeah.
And then, where is Shikhar Dhawan?
Yeah.
You didn't pick him for even any white ball cricket also in India. Same pattern is repeating if you look at it.
So it's a funny thought that came to my mind. The rule of life is such for a cricketer. It's the same Rohit Sharma that every year we would almost hear from him that, some young players, there's always time for them. We have to give them an extended run. 2 matches here and there is not going to change how we think about players. And look what conversation he's having to face at the moment. Look how times have changed and tables have turned.
That's why, that test retirement now, when you look at Virat's, was the most surprising thing. With Rohit, you could understand there was a dip. But because they have retired from 2 formats and you're playing in 1 and you want to play it because you want to finish your story, it's not looking very easy for them. And you have to fight the gaps.
I think the problem lies with the way we view our game as well. Were we also, at some point, all of us have said that no, we need specialists as well. We need format-specific players. And this is what gets the best out of players now. If these are high-performing but depleting assets, depleting only by age, not by form, but they're high-performing assets, what's wrong? Just be patient with them maybe.
I think we'll know these 2 ODIs. One that we're looking forward to will... Again, I don't think you should be judging them with just these 3 ODIs, but there'll be enough chatter after these 3 ODIs are concerned. Let's start with Adelaide. What can we expect? The last game that happened in Adelaide was Australia-Pakistan. Once again, a low-scoring encounter. 160 odd.
163 with Haris Rauf taking 5 for 29.
So Australia was shot out and Pakistan chased it. Perth also low scoring encounter where Pakistan chased it and won. They won that series, by the way.
Virat Kohli had said he wants to take this pitch and go. You can make Adelaide India's second home in ODIs because they have not lost since 2008.
Having said that,
But we only played twice after that.
But the last ODI...
4 wins and 1 tie.
Across formats.
No, I thought only ODIs.
No, but the last ODI was a tough pitch to bat on. Usually Adelaide is amazing. It is, belter of a track. You get a lot of purchase for batters. They can score runs. So I'm guessing if you are a Rohit or a Virat, you would be looking forward to it. I hope at this time of the year, what we saw in that Pakistan game, again a low scoring game, I hope there's nothing of that sort. If there is, then another thing that really has come out to light, whether you saw the Pakistan-Australia game last year in Perth or the India-Australia game in Perth or the Pakistan-Australia in Adelaide, one thing that was certain is batting first is the tough bit. Lots of juice, lot of purchase for the bowlers. Top order finds it very tough, and if you lose those quick wickets that can fall in a heap, it becomes tougher from there on. So from India's sake, they'd be hoping that they are chasing.
October 3 years back, you batted first in Adelaide against England and...
No, but that pitch didn't have, that juice for the bowlers. Whereas now in ODI, there could be a cluster collapse at the start. I don't know what kind of a pitch is being prepared now.
You could have come up with a better example. Around the same day, 2 years back when you played, 3 years back when you played in Australia, you won that match. That was against Pakistan, which took place in Australia, Melbourne.
But I'm talking about Adelaide.
I'm just saying you could have come up with a better example looking at the date. That match happened on the 23rd, if I'm not wrong.
23rd, it happened on the 23rd.
Then
let's see, this 22 Adelaide, what to do?
And tomorrow's what? 23rd?
23rd, yeah. And incidentally, if you look at it, that the last white ball ton that Kohli hit in Australia was in Adelaide, 2018. 104.
And what did Virat do on the 23rd that year?
Of course, Kohli goes down the ground, Kohli goes out of the ground. India haven't lost since 2008, by the way.
Yeah.
You've won against Australia, Dhoni hitting Clint Mackay for that huge 6. Then you tied against Sri Lanka. Then you beat Pakistan in 2015. And then you've beaten Australia in 2018, Kohli 100 chasing 299. So that is the venue where you can dream of a 1-1 scoreline at the end of 23rd.
Any changes you'd like to see?
Again, Kuldeep, try and fit in a Kuldeep Yadav somehow, some way, but I don't think they will. I would say, if you're going to play fast bowlers, you saw how underutilized Sundar was, although he got some amount of purchase in Perth. Straight swap, get Kuldeep instead of Washington.
See, again, I don't know the pitch that will be there in Adelaide, but if it is a juicy pitch, which is unlike Adelaide, but what we saw in the last ODI that was played, yeah, that's what I'm saying. I think you're playing a fast bowler less. You need to find a way to fit in a fast bowler. 3 spinners that you're playing right now, or you're looking to, play because of your 3 all-rounders. I think that is a bit of a luxury. So if you get Kuldeep, I'm all for Kuldeep because he's your wicket taker. He can turn on the magic. But then again, you'll have 2 spinners there.
Batting till 7.
The problem is,
Batting
again,
till 7.
Adelaide dimensions.
8 will be Harshit.
The square boundaries are shorter in Adelaide.
Yeah.
And that's where if you miss the length, you can get tongued as a spinner.
Yeah, we've seen plenty of times batter target the shorter side.
Aksar, you remember 2022, he bowled short, whack into the fine leg and mid-wicket stands. But you've got 3 pacers, out and out pacers, and you've got a Nitish.
So keep your 2 spinners, but then you'll have to get a Kuldeep then.
Because I want my best bowler. I want my best spinner, a wrist spinner. Washington Sundar, despite coming in at 8, what will he give me with the bat? And if he comes in at 8, unless you are 90 for 8 in the 27th over, then I think I will see some testing of Washington Sundar. But you're not going to get this situation 7 out of 10 times. You won't. You're preparing for a 3 out of 10.
The last ODI was exactly why you need batting at 8.
But then did you...
When the top order is blown.
But then did they contribute much? The guys who contributed was Aksar and KL Rahul.
Then you will argue the match was reduced.
Sundar tried. He tried a reverse sweep, but he was bowled. How if 1 to 7 don't contribute with me, I don't know how a 8 will contribute. I've always been this opponent that play your best batters and play your best bowlers, and you're leaving out your best bowler in Kuldeep Yadav. I don't know how you can get back because Australia can't play wrist spin that well.
Again, we say this again and again.
But
it's
I know
funny
this
how
is
the
the team.
game works. It amuses us even how the Indian team is so predictable at times. But the whole surface logic is applicable to bowlers, but not to batters.
Dimensions also, matchups also.
Yeah.
I mean,
When have we ever talked like that? When have we ever heard any selector, any coach, any captain talk about the surface and then talk about batters?
I'm just thinking, now that I'm looking at 11 and we are discussing about Rohit Sharma, could you look at, in the 3rd ODI, maybe the chatter could be, you get a left hand, right hand, where Gill and Yashashvi and Rohit comes into the middle order somewhere.
Replacing, where he goes back to his pre-2010 position. He came at 5-6 in that particular period. Yeah.
Not 6 or 7. He'll definitely be somewhere there. He'll obviously bat ahead of a KL and a Iyer and a Reddy. 100%.
I feel unlikely.
It's difficult, yeah.
Also, look at the template that he's found for himself and the way Indian teams played ODI cricket
play with that same template in the middle order
over the last couple of years.
And
Rohit goes to 3, Virat to 4.
And we all remember the last time when that experiment happened, when Rohit came back in Adelaide. He batted 6. You saw how he looked like a fish out of water. It's tough. I don't think now, and how can he suddenly change after 12 years as an opener? Suddenly going into...
No, to get your best batting order, let's say, I'm just telling you, let's say, hypothetically, you get Gill, Yashashvi, okay, Rohit at 3, Virat at 4.
Okay.
Iyer at 5.
KL at 6.
KL at 6.
Nitish and Aksar at 7 and 8. And then you play 3 out and out paces.
Yeah.
Then you're not playing your best bowlers again and you'll be a bowler short.
I'm saying just try and make this. I'm just giving, Virat and Rohit can be interchangeable, but I'm just for the, just for the 11. How do you let me know how that 11 is going to look like?
I'm really having to think hard.
It's a tough one. It's not an easy one. It's a tough one. Because we are batting so many guys out of position. That is one logistical challenge.
Now, how are you batting so many guys out of position? Oh, you will only. I mean, okay, you could have Virat at 3 and Rohit there. How many? I mean, Iyer can bat at 5. It's never been that hard and fast. KL has batted at 6. You pushed Akshar higher up the order.
Yes.
So
And that is another debate. Why didn't you play your best batter and you pushed Akshar suddenly?
So let's say instead of Reddy, okay, we don't know how much bowling he can. Let's say you've got Akshar at 7.
Yeah.
Okay. And then 8 is Washington. Let's say that this current team that they play. Washington at 8.
Sundar,
And then that's it. How's this
Harshit,
11?
Siraj, Arshdeep. Yeah, it compensates for your depth, for your batting depth.
See, now you're getting batting depth there. And you're getting 5.
Exactly 5 bowlers.
Yeah, exactly 5 bowlers. Yes.
How is this? Could they be thinking of, not in Adelaide, I don't think.
Sydney.
But Sydney, this could be the 11 that they go for. Again,
So who we excluded from the mix here?
Reddy.
Reddy is not.
Reddy is not in.
I just feel Reddy somehow just is a part of your long-term plans.
Okay, so instead of Sundar, you put a Reddy there. Put a Reddy. Maybe you realize that you had
only
a
one
spinner too many in Australia.
But
and
Sydney
maybe
is the place to have those two spinners.
And maybe off break from Rohit is not hurt his finger. He has said he's not going to be bowling.
So you are playing only 4 pacers and 1 spinner then, in that sense. 5 out and out bowlers.
Also your fourth
in the
is then
Gautam Gambhir management era.
4th Reddy.
Yeah.
No, it's.
See, I know Adelaide and Sydney won't be like Mirpur, where in Mirpur you played all 5 bowlers as spinners.
50 overs.
World record. 50 overs. 90 overs of spin, 10 overs of pace of Mustafiz. That's it. In the Gautam Gambhir era, are we looking at 5 bowlers and that only 2 all-rounders and one is a pace bowling all-rounder, one is a spin bowling all-rounder. Although this team technically does make sense. It's left field, but it makes sense. I would agree with this team.
Maybe they're looking at it. See, again, I'm saying that if you're not wanting to put Virat and Rohit on trial, but you also want to accommodate Yashasvi in the team, you can find a way, right, to do that. And this could be the way for you to do something to that effect. Say in Australia, of course in India, then Reddy goes out and Washi comes in. If you're looking at that sort of a scenario.
How about then?
And then for Harshit,
have Rohit at top.
Kuldeep comes in Indian conditions.
Yeah.
Have Rohit at top. Staying with this. Just extending the hypothesis.
JAISWAL at 4.
No, Gill.
No,
that won't happen. No. Who's the captain?
We've seen captain pave the way for others, right? When you want the team to do well.
You could do that. Not a bad option.
Yeah. Gill.
What have we heard about tales of...
But the conversation was not had with Gill, with Rohit. And
JAISWAL, exactly.
What did Ganguly do to promote Dhoni? He demoted himself.
That is true.
That's true. But everybody can't be Dada.
Dhoni to once and Sehwag. First sacrifice he made was put Sehwag there.
Yeah.
Which was, and Ganguly used to be outstanding as an opener. That partnership.
He and Tendulkar.
Was great. But he said no, for the sake of the team, Viru, go there.
And plus, they had one guy who did both roles effortlessly in that team that gave him the balance. Dravid as a keeper opened up so many slots. Otherwise, you would have a separate slot for a keeper, Dravid as a batter.
Yeah.
No, Ganguly said, can you keep? Dravid did it for the team. That's why you could play so many other guys. But how are you going to get it in this team? Although this team does look good. Only Rohit's batting out of position after 12 years.
This team doesn't have a player who can walk on water for the team.
No.
Then who is it?
Your namesake? Harshit? He can walk on anything at this point in time. For the team, he will do it. Yaar. Come on. He can do it for the team. Why not?
Do we have any questions on this? I'd love to know what our viewers are also talking about it, because there's some of those suggestions that we made today are a little bit left field.
Indeed.
And it'll be amazing to hear what people who are joining us have to say on that.
Lots of thoughts there.
Okay.
Ashish Dhar with the first one says the cricketer who had the biggest impact on cricket.
Oh.
Was it world,
Do we,
India?
we'll come to it. Do you go down? Just go down. Do we have something on the team right now? We'll come to that. Go down. Okay. We've got. Just go up a bit. Okay. Yes, we've got just a little bit up. We've got all those questions based on this. Just a little bit up more. Okay, we'll start with Dhanush, right? And all questions below that are addressing the question that we are talking about. Okay. So Dhanush says, Rohit desperate to play ODIs because he hasn't won an ODI World Cup. Why Virat desperate to play the ODI World Cup? He will gain respect, announces retirement. But why should he do that, Dhanush? He is scoring runs. It's a format he loves. There's been no drop in his form. Why should he let go? He's also fit.
Yeah.
He's also not going to be 40. He'll be 38 by the time
38 by that 20.
So why should he let go? Anybody sees any reason? Are you going to respect him more if he announces retirement now? I may respect him even more. We already respect him, but may respect him more. What if he's a double World Cup winner?
Yeah. As I said, in India, barring one individual, no one's timed their retirement perfectly. Let me tell you.
Sunny ji.
No, I would say Sachin. Sachin timed his retirement by getting a farewell test in front of adoring fans.
Yeah, but let's be
tests.
honest, for 2 years that conversation was happening. Many felt 2011 World Cup, time's done.
But then, the quest for that 100th 100.
Yes.
369 days of
So
pain.
there were two quests now. In pursuits of earlier, the biggest quest was the World Cup. Once that was done, then 100 became the other quest, and then the 200 Test match also became something that was achievable.
See, Kapil Dev also, in that quest for 432, prolonged his career. Sunny ji hit a brilliant 96, but he lost that match. That's why he didn't go out on a high.
But that was his test retirement. He played ODIs.
ODIs, yeah. Oh yeah, the ODI World Cup happened earlier in the year.
Earlier, yes.
And the tests happened in October, right?
Correct.
The India-Pakistan
the World Cup,
five
I think
match.
happened after.
Acha, okay.
Correct.
Okay,
it happened after.
After, okay. So yes, his test retirement didn't go according to plan. Neither did his ODI because India lost in the semi-finals and that's the problem. Dravid Lakshman, no.
Very underwhelming.
Very under. Ganguly's retirement, yeah. Dhoni, just through a Instagram post. That's it. No one's timed their retirement ever to perfection in Indian cricket.
No, but him retiring now may not be perfection. As I
It'll
said.
be ill-timed.
Yeah.
It'll be ill-timed.
Yeah. Then
Rakesh Bhushan.
Persistence and patience is key. You can't pick and drop Roko. You have to be clear whether you want Roko or not. You can't raise voice after 1-2 matches.
+1 toward Rakesh Bhushan.
+2.
I can like the comment. I like it that much.
100% in agreement with you.
Yeah.
Guess who's in our chat box?
Oh my goodness. Mr. Siddharth Gulati. How are you, ST family? I'm back. Yes,
Okay.
you are. Either play Rohit consistently or pull the plug. Also, can't drop Kuldeep. Need Reddy to bowl more.
All valid points.
All valid points.
I mean, you're right. Ideally, you'd want him to play consistently.
Yes.
But how then do you see Yashasvi Jaiswal? If you do want to see him, maybe him batting at a different position. That's what I've floated. Maybe to see both of them play together. And yeah, you're right. If Reddy is there, he needs to also bowl and show that he is really needed. Otherwise, that batting lineup that we made looks much better than the one with Reddy in it.
Correct. Yes.
Yeah, so I guess, valid points there.
So Rakesh Bhushan again. Such a meritorious decision of bringing Kuldeep. This Gautam Gambhir doesn't understand. And he's persisting with Harshit who can't bat or bowl. And why KY is regularly kept away. Please, Nick, explain the genuine reasons.
Yeah, I mean, even I can't understand. I'll tell you, the only plausible reason here is that one, Harshit and Kuldeep can't be compared because it's a fast bowler versus that. I think there is a argument to be made in Prasidh Krishna's favor, who's been performing better with the ball, but I guess his batting goes against him. But the argument can be that, have we really seen Harshit chip in with the bat? Not yet. So that is a valid thing. In terms of Kuldeep, I think he's just unlucky with both Aksar and Washi superseding him because they can bat. And we know how obsessed people are now in white ball cricket when it comes to batting deep. And so that's the only reason. I have been a firm believer that I'm okay with, if I was to make the team, I would be okay with batting till 7. But I would play Kuldeep. If he can win me a ball, a match with the ball, then why do I have to look at 7, 8, whatever?
Plus, it's not that he has a bad record in Australia. He has a fantastic record in Australia.
Exactly. Exactly. So I wouldn't do that, but I just tried to put forward the reasons I think this management is not doing.
Yeah. Rakesh Bhushan again. Why Aksar ahead of KL? This is simply bizarre. Nikhil, need your honest opinion. I'm speaking right now. Does Shuman have the courage to push his things bypassing GG?
I think he would be, but having said that, it'll also take time. But I've often said, and this again I'm saying after having heard a lot of people who've been part of different teams, which sometimes feel that a captain is young and the coach is far more senior or has played more cricket and he'll be the more overbearing person. It's not true. I have given those examples. Once I also heard those stories and realized that even young captains in the dressing room, they may look young, they may look very amiable, quiet sort of individuals, but each person who's made the captain knows the power that comes with it and they exercise it. Trust me.
Yeah, they do.
That is the truth of the matter.
Yeah. So Steve Ticolo, why JAISWAL has to open? Can't he bat at 4? Rose started at 6-7, Ko started at 4-5, then moved to 3 when GG was forced out. Why choice position from the start? But you look at the careers where they began, where I can't think of a situation when Yashasvi is batted outside as an opener.
That's what I think his role is such. And his brand of cricket is also such.
But it's like pointing out, you remember where Rohit said in that press conference also, now only openers are fixed. Everyone else is free. And when I also came, I had to do that. Yeah. So by that logic, they'll say.
I know. I mean,
if you look at Yashasvi now, if you ask him, he'll say, make me play.
Anywhere.
Doesn't matter.
Left arm, like Sanju said the other day. To be in this team and be in that dressing room, I can bowl left arm spin also. I can bat at number 9.
But then,
pretty sure Yashasvi would do that. Yashasvi would probably have become half the bowler that we don't know of right now.
But if you have achieved success in a position, then on what grounds can you take away that position where I'm successful and put me in a new position? Again, the same thing, choice.
So the opener's job is a specialist job.
Yeah. It is. Everybody can't be although Viru, to his credit, didn't start as an opener. He adapted and he changed the way how cricket is played. That's the one thing that I'll give it to him. Shiva Subramaniam is like saying, so Mohsin Naqvi is not buckling down?
Yeah, that's the truth. My only comment on that is, why is BCCI hell-bent on getting the trophy? Are you going and writing to him again and again, give us the trophy, we'll go here, we'll go there? He is enjoying it. He's saying, no, you come and collect the... You say, does it matter? The trophy doesn't come. India has won the Asia Cup now. You know it, I know it.
Proof,
it was televised also. They see,
it's on
we really would have needed it. We really would have needed it had it not been televised.
Nobody needs
to have it as proof if it had taken place behind closed doors or anything, but nothing like that happened. So
BCCI
Wikipedia
Indian
will also
cricket,
say India have now won it 11 times.
No, BCCI Indian cricket doesn't need that validation of having that physical trophy, and it's not even it's made out of Kohinoor. Even if it was, I think BCCI today has enough money for having hundreds and thousands of Kohinoors themselves. They don't even need that. It's not even that. It's just a token, right? It's not even anything.
What a time to be talking about jewels, though. Because there's something that happened at the Louvre.
At the
Louvre. Yeah.
A typical Bollywood heist.
That
has happened. Steve Ticolo, Harshit was listed as an all-rounder in the team sheet. We need to buy 3D glasses. See the big sixes which Harshit is going to hit in Adelaide straight. Again,
he does pack a punch with the bat.
Just be a bit patient.
But I think all-rounder is also pushing it. No, he's a decent...
I know he has 150 in first class cricket.
He was a concussion replacement for Shivam Dubey though.
Because he was listed as all-rounder.
Exactly.
But Jaws Butler can get out. And any captain would have been out, by the way. But
Jadeja and Yuzi Chahal. Another concussion sub.
Yeah.
Dhanush, Dubey and NKR are not pace bowling all-rounders. There's not Asia Cup to play against minnows. Sena teams will hammer their bowling left, right and centre. I mean, sure. When we cross the bridge at that time, we will see. Because you're going to play the Sena nations after this.
So, in Harshit's case, it almost sort of feels like, remember when Hardik was getting all the abuse and hatred last year in the IPL. I remember some experts saying that what he needs to do right now is just put on the Indian jersey and maybe then things will get better. In his case, I think it's the reverse. He needs to put on the KKR jersey for there to be because Indian jersey to people just not forget how he made his international debut, and that's I think what these comments sort of tell me as well. Everyone's just so affected, and everyone feels, regardless of which franchise you come from and all, people just didn't like the way he was introduced to international cricket.
It's very strange, right? Mukesh Kumar did the hard strides in domestic. He also made his debut in all formats pretty quickly, but he's faded away very quickly as well. Harshit didn't put the hard strides in domestic, but he got it through IPL. And I think he did pretty okay in the IPL when it look at the KKR title winning run.
Yes, he was one of the 15 plus wicket guys, yeah.
How do you grudge that? I don't know. If the IPL is the benchmark, which he accepted as for selection, why grudge him? I just don't understand that. So, yeah. So, Aritra Datta is saying, are we overhyping this ODI
start
series?
with the top, na?
Acha, cricketer who had the biggest impact on cricket. World cricket or Indian cricket?
I think world
cricket. The biggest
maybe.
impact on cricket. One and only Sachin. Yeah, Sachin. I think Indian cricket, I'd have to say. I mean, each of them had, like, Kapil had his own impact, Gavaskar had his own impact. Everyone did. But I think Sachin was special. It's very tough to look beyond.
It's again like what Brian Lara said. You speak of basketball, you'll talk of Michael Jordan. You speak of cricket, you'll talk Sachin Tendulkar. Only few names are synonymous with the sport.
I mean, for me, if I have to look at it, both Aussies, Don Bradman.
Yeah, Bradman as well.
And Elise Perry.
Yeah, but women's cricket. No, he said
women's
cricket as a sport.
Cricket as a sport, Bradman.
Yeah, Bradman, true. I mean, even Viv Richards had that impact, in that sense.
Yes. But there are certain records of Bradman.
To be fair, again, it's a different generation, and Virat, you could argue with numbers, and there are many players who've gotten better numbers than him, and they've finished their career. But the impact that Virat also had, he's galvanized an entire generation.
Correct.
It's also huge.
Yes.
Massive on the sport.
I mean,
he's like popular. Of course, cricket. Each of these stalwarts that we're talking about have enhanced the reputation of the sport and popularized it even more.
But there are certain records of Bradman which is still not broken, even after 70 odd years.
Correct. I mean, he's also synonymous with the sport. I agree.
Yeah.
No, it is true. But then that way, though, Sachin looked at Gavaskar.
Gavaskar.
And Viv Richards. They were his heroes. So that doesn't mean that they can't.
I mean, there is one more record which an all-rounder can never break. 13,000 runs and 290 plus test wickets. Jack Callis.
Then he's the epitome of greatness in the sport that ways, yeah.
Yeah, but
he looked up to Sobers.
They're only talking about impact. I think impact-wise, there'll be a Bradman, there'll be a Tendulkar, maybe a Viv, I guess. Yeah. Vaughan is also a good shout, but I'm just, if I had to just put three names there.
Correct.
Just border as well.
No, it doesn't come in the top 10 also.
Yeah.
I'm saying like impact, like
it's left a lasting impression for generations and generations.
Cricket equal that.
Yeah. In that way, Tendulkar.
It's only Tendulkar and Bradman and Viv.
We have not even mentioned.
Notable mentions will be a Vaughan or a Kohli.
Maybe a Lara.
Impact wise. I'm just talking about impact, not record. That way there's Kumar Sangakkara who's there, right up there. There's a Dravid there. But I'm saying impact, like, the sport.
5 years down the line, who knows what we're talking about? It could be Joe Root.
Again, impact we don't know. You're talking about records. There's a big difference. Impact as in sport, they pulled a sport with them. That's very few names that you can think of.
Ranatunga?
No chance. Not even. No. That way, there will be
as a
so
minnow
many.
Nation.
No. That way you can think of many
Rashid
other
Khan,
countries. Rashid for Afghanistan and all that. But I'm just saying, like, sport and impact.
Correct. Aritra Datta from Australia saying, are we overhyping this ODI series? Thanks, Nikhil, for covering Sarfaraz's non-selection. Most fans dislike the current selection panel, but some politicians are shamefully polarizing the issue. You can check out Nikhil's entire video that he's done explaining this whole Sarfaraz snub on Sports Today. And are we overhyping this ODI series? Yes, we are.
But you can't. What do you do when two of your biggest names in white ball cricket are making their return? And in that sense, though we disagree, but they are on trial in that sense. So how do you ignore it as well, right?
Correct.
What else can you do? You can't turn your eyes away from it.
Oh, Ashish, there, what happened to Gulbuddin Naib? Was Kudrat ka Nizam? Yeah, what's happened to him? Because after the Oscar-winning act, he's gone.
Bodybuilder.
The bodybuilder. Yes. So, yep.
Must have hit the
Clutching
gym.
of the hammy.
Oh, yep. Oscar-winning performance. Indeed.
Indeed was.
Yeah, I think, is that it? Or
I think that's
We've
that.
taken this. Let's take a few more comments before we wind up. Oopsie. Am I aging or is the text too small?
the text is...
It's small. This is better. Okay, let's go. Mayank Thaplyal.
Mayank Thaplyal saying, Nikhil sir, one question. Chakravarti claims he started cricket at age of 26. Now, how possible is it for someone to introduce himself to the game at 26 and make it to the highest level?
So firstly, I think what he meant there was like playing serious cricket. He was always a recreational cricketer, but he didn't play any competitive level, not even like, in under 19s or 20s at a competitive level. Must have been a recreational, fun, gully cricketer, as a lot of us are. Must have been that. I think he started serious cricket at that age because he was so focused on his studies, never had the time to play serious cricket.
Architecture, yeah.
Yes. So again, it is a rare phenomena to happen. It cannot happen with anyone else. I don't think it can happen in any sport. And even if it happens in cricket, I think mostly it will happen in bowling and more so in spin bowling. It is a possibility. You can have late bloomers, but I think this is still one of the rarest. Even if you're a spinner, you have to work on your craft for the longest time and slowly and steadily get there. But again, white ball cricket allows you to do that. I think red ball cricket actually tests you because if you haven't put in the hard yards, if you haven't faced... See, white ball happens very fast. If you've got some skills, you can execute those skills in 4 overs and come away with that. But in test match, what happens? You will go through bad phases. There'll be times where you'll go through one day of bowling 20 overs and not pick a single wicket. How do you pull yourself from there? How do you outthink a batter? That cannot happen if you start this late. That will only happen if you've done age group cricket. You'll learn, okay, this is what happens. Then patience, then how do you, create a false stroke. All those things come there. So,
although 2 Pakistanis are dispelling the notion in the current series, Noman Ali and Asif Afridi.
No, but they didn't start cricket at 26.
Yeah, they started much earlier.
That's what I'm trying to say. They are doing well because they've done the hard yards at the lower level to have reached here, and now they know the skills. That's why I say that if, let's say, you pick a first class cricketer or someone who's not even played for, I'll give you another example, like a Tambe, okay, who did not even have first class
international cricket.
No, but he played IPL, which is again very tough. But the thing is, again, he played a lot of local and club cricket on the verge of Ranji selection, all of that, right? So he's put in the hard yards. He spent enough days on the cricket field bowling against some of the top batters, even though not Ranji level. So he knows at different situation, what do I need to do? If I come across a big enough batter, see, in his growing up days when he was playing club cricket, he played with a lot of players who went on to play international cricket. So he figured out, a big batter, what do I have to do? I'm getting smashed. I have nothing. You have to go through that experience to learn. Now, what do? I got smashed. How do I come back?
Fair point.
That I think he picked up in those things. He utilized it when he came to the top level in the IPL.
Yeah. Dikshita is like saying, Ricky said VK is the GOAT in ODIs. VK in recent, most thing he played 1 CT by 2 player of the matches. IPL with 657 runs and Journo criticized him for 1 ODI match. Pathetic.
No, see again, you're a public figure, you're open for criticism. It'll happen. We've often said that. I don't think he needs to be judged by just 1 match or even 3 matches.
Yeah.
So, but the thing is, he's such a big part of our sport, one of those impact names that we're talking about. How is it that you ignore him? It used to happen to Sachin also.
Yes.
Every little thing he would do, 1 stroke, and there used to be like hours and hours of airtime spent on one finger would get injured or 1 tennis elbow,
I will never forget that one headline that came up when
Endulkar.
3 matches, 2 runs in that New Zealand ODI series.
Also, I don't remember who it was, but I think it was Harsha Bhogle who said it during the time of his retirement, that not only is this man responsible for us falling in love with the sport, but he told us so much about human anatomy.
Yeah.
Because
Every
little-
injury, tennis elbow was unheard of in this
The
country.
whole world came to know what tennis elbow is
Yes.
after that.
But that's
I know.
true.
That's true.
I
That's true.
also remember how the day that he retired, or just the day after that, I think it was the Times of India or the Hindustan Times, one between those two publications, had an entire sports page filled with how many injuries and where all Sachin Tendulkar was operated, from his toe to the elbow to his back, everything, his shoulder, everything. That page told
But I
you.
think it was a tennis elbow that kept him out the longest.
Yeah.
Other injury, although he had back spasms,
Correct, yeah.
but it was a tennis elbow that was debilitating for him. So, yeah.
Okay, last few questions. We've got Naman Kantpal saying, gents, Yashasvi Jaiswal playing ODIs and doing great is inevitable. I completely agree, looking at his game, but at the cost of Roko doesn't seem right. They need,
To be more merit based,
which
should put Gil Harshit under scanner. Select the best.
Couldn't agree more with what Naman Kantpal is saying. Anshu
Yep.
Mishra.
Nick sir, what a joyous moment when Senuran Muthuswamy and Rabada belted Pakistan bowlers all over the ground from 130 behind with just 2 wickets to take 70-run lead and the cusp of victory. Iconic turn. Yep.
Yeah.
I mean, one of the shots that Rabada hit of Shaheen Afridi, everybody is saying, was it Abhishek Sharma in disguise there?
No, he's a good
He
bat.
also plays with the long handle.
Long handle,
Rabada.
yeah.
No, he's a
Senuran,
decent bat.
98-run
He can be
partnership.
classified as an all-rounder.
Rabada did Kabada to Pakistan.
Premium fast bowler.
Yes.
Premium is trolling.
Yeah.
Okay. We've got Sachin Tendulkar here. There you go. So, but Debayan Majumdar says, do you see Tri-Nation ODI series coming back in the near future? Imagine Sri Lanka, New Zealand in the ODI series with us and Australia, making it way more competitive. Still remember CB series glory.
There is.
Before that also, Debayan, there used to be
So many tri-series. Sharjah.
Australia used to have
Yeah.
a lot of them. Used to always
But
like.
again, the schedule is such you can't have those tri-series.
But
Anyway,
you should do that. That's the one way you can bring back ODIs.
you're anyway having the Asia Cup in the ODI format before the World Cup. That's going to take place in 2027. That's a multi-nation series. Tri-series, when you look at it, I hope, Australia used to be that fixture, yeah. After the test series is done, you have so many teams coming in. Oh.
No, you carry on.
So, that's the problem. I don't think the calendar will allow you for a tri-series. So, that's the thing. And Sachin Tendulkar. Yeah. Sachin Tendulkar saying, we may see the combination of Hardik, Reddy, Bumrah, another pacer, Kuldeep, Aksar / Jadeja in SA 2027. Build that combination now. Dubey did well in SL ODIs. Why Reddy now? Should have played both here. Played both Reddy and Shivam Dubey. But, yeah, I don't know. What is the thing about
Play both Reddy and
Dubey?
Hardik. So he's saying play Dubey. In fact, we did point out here that Dubey can be looked at with his bowling and how he's improved, can be looked at in ODIs. There could be a scenario that's valid because in sprint-friendly conditions, you play multiple spill all-rounders.
Yeah.
If we have multiple fast bowling all-rounders, why not have them in
And
the
you
mix?
saw him bowl more than the others, Dubey, in the
In
T20s.
South Africa.
You did, yes.
Though I must tell you, South Africa now, spinners will be needed. I'll tell you why. Not because of the pitches. But the impression we have now of South Africa, those seam-friendly pitches,
Not in
all
white
that is
ball.
fine in test matches. In white ball, you have belters there.
Yeah.
And on flat batting pitches, spinners do the trick for you.
Yes. And all the games will be evening to night time. And I hope the dew then doesn't come into the picture at this point. Yeah, you've got FC Goa versus Al Nassr that's taking place
Without Ronaldo.
without Cristiano Ronaldo.
There was one more on top, Shivam. We were going to take that. It's vanished. Where is that?
Vishesh Dhawan. This scenario reminds me of Tare Zameen Spurs dialogue explaining Ishan's parents about autism. If they want a tree to fall, they don't cut it. They just abuse every day and it falls by itself. Yes, Solomon Islands. That dialogue that is there. Yes.
True story, yeah.
It is. It's a true story. So, anything else?
That's it. You can take this last comment since it's Rahul Dravid.
It's
we can't
after
decide.
Tendulkar we take
Vinod.
Dravid. Yes.
Final
Vinod.
comment of the evening.
ACC's president role in trophy is ceremonial, not administrative. The actual legal authority is ACC organizing committee. why BCCI is not reaching out to them or the ACC CEO? Why need Naqvi permission here?
I mean, the thing is, you're right. Again, the president has executive powers. I agree that there will be CEOs and so on and so forth, but you can't get a lot of things done without the permission of the president.
Correct.
So that's how it
Naqvi is Mr. 3-in-1, PCB head, ACC head, and Interior Minister. What do you do then?
Yeah.
Yep.
As I repeat, why do you need the trophy?
Exactly.
Let it lie there.
We can create a own replica and
Don't
have a
even
segment
create it.
here.
You have winners.
Exactly.
World has seen.
Surya Kumar
Exactly.
Yadav said, more than the trophy,
Why?
the players, the support
14
staff,
trophies
fans,
जो
everyone.
dressing room में है.
Yes,
Key for
indeed.
it.
Key for it.
On that note, thank you.
Yep, tomorrow.
Bye bye. We'll see you tomorrow, mid innings. As soon as the first innings is over, we'll be live. And then, of course, post match analysis of the men's game. Also, the post match analysis of the women's game. Crucial game. Almost a virtual quarter final. Though India, if they lose, can still make it. But again, those are too many permutation, combination. We don't get into it.
Hope weather
For
cooperates.
India, it should be straight and simple. Win, go through. It's under their control. Forget
Hope weather cooperates because the weather in Navi Mumbai is not that good for the match tomorrow. Yep.
Keep you updated.
Indeed. Bye bye.
In case there is any issue with the weather, you know where to get that update.
Yes. It's already up on Sports Today. Bye bye.